Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is who. It is me. It is I. It is she. It is who? Let me focus in. Rosie Rosette 2020. Pow! How are we doing today? I'm happy that you are live. It is December 1st, 2020. Okay, you guys, we got 30 more days to live in America. Um, you know, to finish out this year. We don't know this corona thing. Let's get on top of it because let me tell you, these rates, oh God, I hope we don't get shut down again. I hope we don't get shut down again, but it looks like we are because people don't want to stay at home. It says, Newsom is considering a new shelter in place order as COVID-19 case rise. So, my God. My goodness. Okay. That being said, let me just, oh God, this is really pathetic. Let's just go over the numbers. Okay, so as far as the totals in California for COVID cases for December 1st, so we're going back to November 30th, 1.24 million, 1.24 million people have contracted the COVID virus, okay? There's 19,212 deaths in California. 58 people in California alone died of COVID. This is getting ugly again. I really hate to. 17,696 new cases in the past 24 hours. You see it? 17,696 new cases. Now I'm going to move this back so that we could look at the graph. And like I said, it is trending up. It was flat. It was almost flat. It was flat here. And then in June, once summer hit and they lifted the lockdown, it went up, but then it was flat again. Around September, October, we were doing pretty good. But now, look, I think after Halloween in November, it's just skyrocketing. This is the election, around the election. Halloween, after Halloween, it just started to go up. Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thanksgiving. It's going to go back down. And it's, for maybe a week, and it's going to go right back up because these are the holidays. People are they're going to want to go skiing up in Tahoe. They're going to want to have Christmas parties. We were going to do a potluck at my job and they canceled it. And I mean, people had their pies and everything. I got the word, not to do it because I got the email, whatever, but a lot of people didn't. I didn't have everybody's number in my, my group. So I got it now. So if that happens, whatever. But, and I'm kind of glad they did. And they catered us a little meal, whatever. It was okay. It was small. It was okay. And so, that being said, I just don't, I don't understand. Oh. This is a story. I just saw it on the news right before I started making my video. So Sam Liccardo, who is the mayor of San Jose. Now, granted, San Jose has like a million people plus. Now, I rarely see Sam Liccardo. I don't even really know his name. Is that it? Is that how you pronounce his name? That's a shame that I don't even know the proper pronunciation of the mayor of my city. That's how much we don't see him. And he wants to do another round. No. Anyway, he, was always saying, oh, you need to shelter in place and all this other stuff and don't do this, don't do that. In Santa Clara County, it's illegal to congregate. Okay, so San Jose has 1.03 million people. So San Jose has a million people. You would think San Jose has a larger population than San Francisco. Let's see how much. I'm just trying to. Okay, so San Francisco has 883,000. I think that it may be a little, maybe a little less than that because a lot of people moved out of San Francisco. I think 10% or 5% of people moved out of San Francisco after, during COVID or whatever. And they can't afford it because they don't have a job. So you can't, if you don't have a job, you're not living in San Francisco unless you're on Section 8 or you're living in projects or both. Anyway, Sam Licardo met at his parents' house in Saratoga. Saratoga is this, I'm going to say affluent. Yeah, Saratoga is pretty affluent. Um, City right outside of San Jose. Um, they had 8 families, or 8 people, or 18 people. No, I think it was 18 or 30 people from 8 different families. Yeah, that's the mayor of San Jose, who is really never on TV, who I don't think, who I think personally is a horrible leader for a city of 1 million people. London Breed was on TV more than Sam Licardo. I never see him at any of the social functions going on in the city. I don't know what he does. Honestly, I don't. I don't. I need to go to council meetings when they start back. Anyway, that being said, you're a loser. Loser. You get the loser of the day. Anyway, okay, so I just don't know what's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think we're gonna go back to being locked down probably soon. I think they're gonna put us on lockdown until next year. Next year. But until the vaccine, that's what they need to do. Put everybody back on lockdown until these vaccines are ready. The 49ers, they had to go to Arizona, I think, to play their games. San Jose State, I think they're looking somewhere to go because Santa Clara is closed down again, basically, um, on lockdown. If they're not closed, they're about to be. They're about to be. So, you guys, I guess we need to stock up on our tissues. Anyway, but Gavin Newsom is thinking about, putting everyone on lockdown. And when you have 17,000, almost 18,000 people catching the corona, you know, in 24 hours, I think it's time because think about it, 17,000 people, okay, out of that 17,000 people in one day, you're going to at least get 10%, maybe 5%. Let's talk about 60 people in ICUs. I think Santa Clara County only had 72, was it 72 or 120 ICU beds left. My friend that I work with, her boyfriend contracted. He was sick in the hospital. Then they sent him to a home, a rest home. He contracted COVID there. Now he's back at the hospital. It's just scary, you guys. Please stay at home. Listen, I've been off since Saturday. Have I left my house? I don't leave the house. I have more than enough food. I have everything I need. I have tissue. I have cable. I have, YouTube. I don't leave my house. I put on makeup. I go to the garage. I take pictures for Instagram. And I come back. I don't have to wash clothes. I think last time I didn't even leave my building. I don't exercise, nothing. Only time I leave my house basically right now is to go to work. After work, I come home, take a shower, and I go to sleep. That's it. That extracurricular activity, no. But there's people, traveling all over the country, like we're not in a pandemic. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, let's look at Texas. Let's see Texas. Ooh. Yeah. I think it had to do with Thanksgiving. In Texas, they have 1.26 million people infected with the virus. They had 15,080 people contracted the virus in the past 24 hours in Texas. Texas has more deaths than San Francisco. They have 21,996 deaths in San Francisco. Here it is. Here's the proof. Here's the graph. Here's the graph. Here's the graph. Now listen, I have been tracking this for months. What? I started tracking this back in March? I think in March I started tracking. April, I think April I really no, yeah. March I started because I was doing videos in my car, and then April, May, June, remember I was doing videos in my garage, which I'm going to have to go by. Okay, let's go to Florida. Florida, because remember when New York was off the chain? Okay, Florida's not as bad. Florida, they have almost they're one person away or one case away from having 1 million cases. So they have 999,000 cases. 6,659 new cases within the past 24 hours. As far as deaths, they have 18,596 deaths. That's a lot. That's a lot of deaths for Florida. It's not as many as California, but again, California's more populated than Florida. It's not as many as Texas, but again, Texas is not as populated as California, but Texas has more people than Florida. Okay. 97 people died in Florida in the past 24 hours. But okay, now let's go to the United States. The United States has 13.7 million people that are infected with the COVID. 168,000 people. Let me read that to you again. 168,000 people have contracted the virus within the past 24 hours. They have, listen to this, Trump, you are full of it. 269,000 deaths. We're on the cusp of 270. By the end of this year, it will be more than 300,000 people dead of COVID. This is some chemical warfare, I'm telling you, allegedly. Allegedly. This is not real. 1,265 people died of COVID in the past 24 hours. Here it is. These are the receipts. I'm not making this up. This is the real deal. The real deal. Okay? This is not for the weak of heart. This is real, people. COVID is real. Remember, you're like, oh, this is not real. We don't have to wear a mask. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I don't, for the life of me, Biden, knowing that he's going to be president, he has to make wearing masks a law. The law. The law. That needs to be the law to wear masks. Okay, let's go. Let's look at New York. Listen, I've been tracking this for the past, 6 months. 6 months. 6 months I've been tracking this. Okay, so New York. All right, excuse me. New York State. Okay, let's go. Let's do New York City. New York City has 317,000 cases of COVID. They have, this is New York City, NYC. They have 2,501 new cases within the past 24 hours. As far as deaths, this is New York City, not New York State. New York City has 24,287 deaths. 6 deaths, which is amazing for New York City within the past 24 hours. So that's a good thing. As far as New York State, they have 653,000 cases of COVID. They have, in the past 24 hours, they have 6,816 new cases. New cases in New York State. As far as deaths, I think New York has the highest amount of deaths for a state which they have 34,163, 49 deaths within the past 24 hours. It's climbing. It's climbing. If you look at the graph, it is trending up. They were flat for months. They were flat since May to, I would say, from May 1st to Halloween. May, June, July, August, September. For about 6 months, they were doing really well. And then all of a sudden, maybe the correlation is back to school and the weather. I think that's the double whammy. The fact that you're back to school, the weather, Halloween, Thanksgiving, all of those contributing factors have had the, and the lack of structure from the president regarding this subject. You never hear, Trump has not had a press conference regarding coronavirus in weeks or months. Maybe weeks. After he lost the election, he was like, fuck it, fuck all you guys, I'm out, I don't care, all of you guys die. I just don't think he cares. He doesn't. This was a little above his head. He just couldn't handle it. He whatever. Okay, let's go to Wisconsin. And it's just a tragedy because almost 300,000 people are going to lose their lives due to the fact that the president of the United States, Donald Trump, could not focus, or he felt defeated, or it was just a lot to have this over his head. I'm surprised he was able to live through it, not just because of the virus, but because of the stress. This is almost worse than a war. At least with the war, you can see it coming, or you have some defense mechanism. We don't know how people are getting it. We don't have any vaccines to fight it. Like, this is just like, oof, here it is. Anyway, Wisconsin. Yeah, I pronounced that right. Okay, so, they're trending down. They have 4,012 cases, 2,600 cases within the past 24 hours. That's not a lot for California or Florida or Texas, but Wisconsin, they only have like 5 million people. So this is really alarming for Wisconsin. They have 3,511 deaths. 8 people died in Wisconsin within the past 24 hours. And here's the graph. Now I'm gonna look up Iowa, and then that's it. I don't know what to say. It's to the point where you don't know if you're gonna be here. Okay, so Iowa, I think Iowa has 3 million people in the entire state. They have 231 cases, 231,000 cases. This is a lot for Iowa. They have 1,944 new cases within the past 24 hours. That's a lot for a state that only has 3 million people. Okay, for a state that has 40 million people, okay. But a state that has 3 million people, that's a lot. As far as deaths, they have 2,430 deaths total so far. 27 people died in Iowa within the past 24 hours. That's alarming. For Iowa, which is such a less populated state, that's very alarming. I don't know what they're not doing in Iowa, because Lord knows they have enough land, and there's hardly anyone there. So I don't understand how this is happening. They allegedly have to be spraying at night, or I can't place the correlation, but people, like the people in the rest homes who are contracting corona, what are they lacking? Are they lacking PPP? Are they not changing it? Like in the prisons, how is it that everyone is dying and contracting the coronavirus? I guess they don't have to wear masks. They don't have to be checked by a doctor because of the right. I don't know. Well, you know what? That's it for today. I'm not. Those are the totals. This is December 1st, 2020. Thank God I made it this far. Um, my son is coughing, but he develops a cough, like it's almost like an allergy. Um, at the beginning of the fall, and then he does it again in the spring. So I can hear his cough. His cough is, I'm used to this cough. This is not like the flu cough or anything, but he did get tested. So, we're waiting on the results. I don't think he has, but you just never know. You never know. He faithfully wears his mask. So, I don't think, because I spray and I wipe down. I'm Lysol down, bleach, whatever. I am it. I haven't caught it yet, but again, I think I caught it last year, but you can catch it again. So it is what it is. You guys take care. Have a blessed month and be safe. Okay, bye.